Relevel by Unacademy. My name is Sumi Sirdana and I'm an educator at Relevel. I'm going to discuss today questions of time, speed and distance. This is a very important topic and we are going to discuss some very important and excellent questions on TSD. Total we will be discussing 30 questions and the basic theory and the basic concepts of TSD will be discussed along with the discussion of this question. Now here's the first question. Now keep this in mind. Every time you solve a question of TSD, right, the basics that you're supposed to know is what is the meaning of the word distance, what is the meaning of speed, and what is the meaning of time, right? And you need to understand the units of time, speed, and distance. Distance is always measured in kilometer or meter. These are two general units of distance, and speed units are kilometer per hour or meter per second. Time will either be in hour or it will be in second. It can be in minute also, but these are the two standard units. When I say that speed of a car is, let's say, 18 kilometer per hour, the meaning of the statement is this car is traveling at a speed of 18 kilometer per hour. That means in 1 hour this car will travel a distance of 18 kilometers. So if I ask you what is the distance travel in 2 hours, it's very simple. The distance travel in 2 hours will be 18 into 2. It is equal to 36 kilometers. It is as simple as if I say that in 1 rupees you are getting 18 toffees, how many toffees you will get in 2 rupees? You will be getting total 36 toffees, right? Now time becomes double, distance will also become double. That's basics, right? Important point in terms of units that you're supposed to know. The important points in terms of units that you're supposed to know is whenever speed is given to you in kilometer per hour. If speed is given to you in terms of kilometer per hour, right? If speed unit is, let's say, kilometer per hour, then you should know how to convert it into meter per second. In 1 kilometer, the meters are 1000, right? 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1000 meter. And 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So every time you are converting a speed which is in kilometer per hour, you can simply multiply it with 5 by 18. 1 kilometer per hour is 5 by 18 meter per second. For example, if I ask you what is the equivalent speed of 18 kilometer per hour in meter per second, simply multiply this speed by 5 by 18 to convert it into meter per second, right? So therefore, it would be 5 meter per second, right? Exactly in a similar way, if 1 kilometer per hour is 5 by 18 meter per second, then 1 meter per second will be equal to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. 1 meter per second will be 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. These are the two standard units conversion that you need to learn in TSD because it will be used almost in every question. For example, let's start with the question number 1 here. Let's understand rest of the concepts of TSD along with the discussion of this question. It says that a train is traveling at a speed of 126 km per hour, crosses a telephone pole in 10 seconds. Now, keep this in mind. This is our train, right? This is the train. We do not know what is the length of the train. Now, this train is supposed to cross this telephone pole, right? Now, when will this train cross a telephone pole? This train will cross a telephone pole when the position of the train will be like this, right? Right? If a train move from this point to this point, train will be able to cross the complete telephone pole. Now, the point that you need to observe here is that whenever train is crossing a pole or a standing man on the platform, the distance traveled by the train will be same as the length of the train itself. So distance traveled by the train to cross a telephone pole is same as the length of the train itself. It is given to you that speed of the train is 126 km per hour and time is given to you as 10 seconds. Now you can see the time is given to you in 10 seconds, right? So you need to first convert this speed in kilometer per hour to meter per second. We know that 1 kilometer per hour we have just learned is equivalent to 5 by 18 meter per second. So can I multiply kilometer per hour by 5 by 18 meter per second, right? Now this gets cancelled on 7. So speed is 35 meter per second. That's the speed of the train. What does it mean? It means that train is traveling a distance of 35 meter in 1 second. Now we are supposed to find out the distance traveled by the train in 10 seconds. Then the distance traveled by the train in 10 seconds will be equal to how much? 350. If the train is traveling a distance of 350 meter in 10 seconds, that means the length of the train is also equivalent to 350 meter, because when the train is crossing a pole, then the distance traveled by the train is same as the length of the train itself. So the answer to the question will be option number B. Moving on to question number 2, it says Yukti increases the speed of her bike by 3 kilometer every hour if her initial speed was 40 kilometer per hour. So initially her speed is 40 kilometer per hour. That means in 1 hour Yukti is traveling a distance of 40 kilometer. Now in every subsequent hour the speed is going to get increased by 3 kilometer. So can I say in the second hour train the speed of the Yukti would be 43 kilometer per hour. So in the second hour the distance traveled will be 43 kilometer, right? So similarly, in third hour, the distance travel will be 46 kilometer and so on. We are supposed to find out the total distance travel in 6 hours. So in third hour, Yukti will be traveling 46 kilometer. In fourth hour, Yukti will be traveling 49 kilometer. And in fifth hour, Yukti will be covering 52 kilometer. And in the sixth hour, Yukti will be moving at a speed of 55 kilometer per hour. So that means in that particular hour, the distance travel will be 55. So now you just need to add it, find the total distance. The total distance will be 3 plus 6, 9 plus 9, 18 plus 2, 20 plus 5, 25, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 4, 10 plus 4, 14 plus 4, 18, 18 plus 5, 23 plus 5, 28. So total distance traveled by the Yukti will be 285 kilometer. A option would be the correct answer of the question, guys. Moving on to question number 3, Yash can row his boat upstream at 5 km per hour and row the boat downstream at 13 km per hour. If we travel to the next village in 5 hours in still water, find the distance it traveled. You need to understand the meaning of these two terms. What is the meaning of upstream speed and what is the meaning of the word downstream speed? See that. Let's say that a river is flowing in this direction. That's the direction of the water in a river, right? Let's say this is the direction in which the river is flowing. Now, if I throw any solid object in this, let's say if I throw a wooden log in this water, then the wooden log will continue to travel in the direction of the stream at the speed of the stream. In whichever direction water will be moving, this wooden log will also be moving in that direction, right? Now, let's say that speed of the water is, let's say, u kilometer per hour. Then the speed of this wooden log will also be u kilometer per hour. That's a water speed. Now let's say that a man has an ability to swim in the still water, right? A man has an ability to swim in a still water at a speed of v kilometer per hour. Now he can swim at a speed of v kilometer per hour in still water. If the man is swimming in the direction of the stream in this river, then the overall speed of the man would be v plus u, because water will also be pushing a man at a speed of u kilometer per hour in its direction. So therefore, v plus u will be the overall speed of the man who can swim in the still water at a speed of v kilometer per hour. And when a man is swimming in the direction of the stream, that is called as a downstream speed. Downstream speed is when you are moving in the direction of the stream. The downstream speed is always v plus u. And when we talk about upstream speed, that means if a man is traveling opposite to the direction of the stream, in that case, you need to subtract the speed of the stream from the man's speed. The man's speed is v kilometer per hour and water will be pushing it back at a speed of u kilometer per hour. So that's called as upstream speed when you move against the direction of the stream. So downstream speed is v plus u when you are moving in the direction. Upstream speed is v minus u when you are moving against the direction of the stream. Now it's given to you that upstream speed is 5 km per hour and the downstream speed is equivalent to 13 km per hour. If I solve these two equations, we will get the speed of the boat in the still water. Speed of the boat in the still water is 9 kilometer per hour, as you can see here. Now, if he travel to the next village in 5 hours in still water, the speed is 5 kilometer per hour and time is 5 hours. That means in 1 hour you're traveling a distance of 9 kilometer. How much distance you will travel in 5 hours? The distance travel in 5 hours will be 45 kilometers. So that's the distance you travel, which is option number C. That's the correct answer to the question. Moving on to question number 4 here. A train takes 12 seconds to cross a man walking in the same direction as the train at 6 km per hour. If the speed of the train is 78 km per hour, find the length of the train. Now see that? Let's assume that this is the train, right? Now this train is running at a speed of 78 km per hour in this direction. 78 km per hour in this direction, right? Now the train is crossing a man who is running in the same direction. Right? Who is running in the same direction at a speed of 6 km per hour. I know that if a train has to cross the man, then the distance traveled by the train will be same as the length of the train. Distance traveled by train to cross the man will be same as length of the train itself, right? As we have discussed in the first question, length of the train, right? So now this train is crossing this man in 12 seconds, but you need to see that man is also running at a speed of 6 km per hour. Now see that train and man both are running in the same direction. In 1 hour, train is going to cover a distance of 78 kilometers. And in 1 hour, man is going to travel the distance of 6 kilometers. Now, can you see that both are running in the same direction? So the effective speed will finally be equal to 78 minus 6. That means the distance between the train and the man will get reduced by 72 kilometers per hour because both are running in the same direction, right? So now at a speed of 72 kilometers per hour, which we can convert it into meter per second by multiplying it by 5 by 18. Now at this speed, in 12 seconds, the distance traveled will be same as the length of the train. Same as length of train. Right. Now seconds will get cancelled. This is 4. Answer will be 4 into 5, 20. 20 into 12, 240. So 240 meter is the length of the train, which is option number D. Is a question number 5. Police officer notices a thief 350 meter away from him. The thief starts running at a speed of 6 km per hour and the police start chasing him at a speed of 9 km per hour. How much time will it take for the police to catch the thief? Okay, this is again a question of relative speed. Now, thief is 350 meter away from the police, right? Thief start running at a speed of 6 km per hour. And the police start chasing him at a speed of 9 km per hour. How much time will it take for the police to catch the thief? You see that a thief is going to travel a distance of 6 kilometers in 1 hour and police will be covering a distance of 9 kilometers in 1 hour. You see that the distance between thief and police will get reduced by a speed of 9 minus 6. Thief will cover a distance of 6, police will cover a distance of 9. So the overall speed will get, the distance between thief and police will get reduced at a speed of 3 km per hour. Right. Now the distance that need to be reduced is 350 meter. Right. Now this is a distance in meter. This distance is supposed to be covered at a speed of 3 km per hour. Now this 3 km per hour can be converted into meter per second by multiplying it by 5 by 18. So 18 will go on the 5 by 18 meter per second, right? Okay, this get cancelled. Simply solve this question. 3 into 6, 7. This is equal to 420 seconds, right? Now let's convert it into minute by dividing it by 60. It should have been given the question that he is supposed to find out the time in minutes, right? Nothing sort of that is mentioned. So assuming that it is mentioned over here, the answer in that case will be 7 minutes here, right? Logically, it should have been mentioned the time is supposed to be calculated in minutes, right? Otherwise, the answer in seconds will be 420. Now, look at the question number 6 here. David can cover the distance from his house to his office in 2 hours if he walk at a speed of 2 km per hour. How much faster he walk if he wants to cover the distance in half the time? Now, you see that this is a distance, let's say, this is a distance from his house to office. Now, at a speed of 2 km per hour, the distance is covered in 2 hours. So, at a speed of, so what will be the distance? Distance at a speed of 2 km per hour in 2 hours will be equal to 4 km. So, can I say the distance from home to office is 4 km? Now, if this distance is supposed to be covered in half that time, that means whatever time that has been taken here, now the time that is supposed to be taken from to travel from house to office is supposed to be 1 hour. The speed will be 4 km per hour. That means this is the speed that David need to run, right? Right. So earlier he was running at a speed of 2 km per. Earlier he was walking at a speed of 2 km per hour. Now he's walking at a speed of 4 km per hour. So how much faster? Because the question says how much faster should he walk? How much faster he should walk? He should walk faster by 2 km per hour. So D is the correct answer to the question, right? Question number 7. Ravi traveled at a speed of 12 km per hour for 1/3 of the distance. 15 km per hour for 1/3 of the distance and the rest at 20 km per hour. Find the average speed. See guys, average speed you should know is equal to total distance traveled. Total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Right. So total distance upon total time is the average speed. Now there is a distance we do not know what is that distance, right? It's some distance. Now just to make my calculation part in integer, I will assume my distance to be the multiple of 12, 15 and 20. Let's assume that total distance is 3600 kilometer, right? Let's assume the total distance is 3600 kilometer, right? Now, out of this 3600 kilometer, 1/3 distance, that means the distance of 1200 kilometer is traveled at a speed of 15 kilometer per hour. The next 1200 is traveled at a speed of 15. Okay, first 1200 is traveled at a speed of 12. Next 1200 is traveled at a speed of 15 kilometer per hour. And the last 1200 is traveled at a speed of 20 kilometer per hour, right? We are supposed to find out the average speed. So see that total distance traveled is 3600. Now you see that the time taken for the first 1200 to travel at a speed of 12 km per hour will be 1200 by 12. That means it would be taking 100 hours. The next 1200 at a speed of 15 km per hour will take total 80 hours. The next 1200 at a speed of 20 will take it total 60 hours. Right? So total time taken is 100 plus 80 plus 60. So 3600 total distance has been traveled in a time of total 240. So the average speed would be 60 by 4. That means it would be 15 kilometer per hour. That is option number B is the correct answer to the question, right? Now here is question number 8. Two friends Annie and Ajay start at the same time to travel from Chennai to Bangalore. Chennai to Bangalore. Ajay travel by car and Ani travel by bus and reaches 1 hour later than Ajay. Now Ajay is traveling this whole distance by car and Ani is traveling the whole distance by bus. And it is given to you that Time taken by Ani, who is traveling by bus, is 1 hour more than the time taken by Ajay. Ajay is taking 4 hours to travel the distance. Ani is taking 1 hour more, so Ani will be taking 5 hours to travel the distance. Find the distance between. Okay, this has to be not Hyderabad. This has to be Chennai, right? Because it's mentioned here Chennai, right? So find the distance between Chennai and Bangalore if the difference between the speed of the car and bus is 15 kilometer per hour. It's a very simple question, guys. Right? What you need to see here is the time taken by car and bus is in the ratio of 4:5, right? That's a time ratio. Right? It's very logical to say that if a car is taking less time to travel this distance, then the speed of the car will be more than the speed of the bus. That's why car is taking less time. So can I say speed ratio has to be the inverse ratio of time? If time is 4:5, then speed has to be 5:4 because distance traveled by both Ajay and bus is same. Distance is constant, right? Distance traveled by both of these two people are constant. It's constant, right? So if time is less, then speed will be high. So if time goes down, speed will go up. Speed and time will be inversely proportional. Time ratio is 4:5, so speed ratio will be 5:4. Now the difference in the speed is 1. What I want is the difference between these two to be equal to 15. If this difference is becoming 15 times, then I say that the speed of the car would be 75. 5 into 50. That's a multiplying factor that we have learned in ratio. Speed of the car is 75. Speed of the car speed, you can see here, is 75 kilometer per hour. And time taken by car is 4 hours. The distance travel must be speed into time, 75 into 4. That means it must be 300 kilometer, which is option number A. A would be the correct answer. Right? You could have find out the speed of the bus also. Speed of the bus would be 4 into 15, that means 60 kilometer. Now, speed of the bus, right? The bus speed, you can see, is 60 kilometer. But the time taken by bus is 5 hours. So, therefore, distance would be speed into time. That means 60 into 5. It would be equal to 300 kilometers. First option will be the correct answer, right? Whether you find the distance with the help of car or you find the distance with the help of bus, answer would be same because both of them are traveling constant distance. The distance for both of them is same. So therefore, answer is 300 kilometers. That's it, guys. We have covered 8 questions. I will be covering the rest of the question in the next part of the video. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you in the next class.